I hope you can see it, but I finally joined the dark side. I have never owned a SIG before. I've barely even shot SIGs before, so this is a first for me. I'm super excited to show you guys what I got. We're going to go ahead and jump into a different camera angle, and we're going to unbox this SIG. Alright guys, I finally bought my very first SIG. I own a bunch of guns and I do not own a SIG, but today I finally fixed that. So let's go ahead, let's open the box. Let me show you guys what I got. This is a Sig P365X macro. Now ignore how the box may not be absolutely perfect. That's because I did go through it to make sure that it came with everything. But this is the gun. Now, I'm going to take off the sleeve because I don't like the sleeve on it. This gun right here is the Sig P365X macro. One of the reasons why I went with this one was because it has a compensator on the end. It has a 17 round magazine capacity. And it is a very, very just comfortable gun in the hand. It just feels good. Now personally, I am not a huge fan of SIG, but when I did shoot this gun about a year ago, I really did like it, but at the time, it was out of my price range. Now when you buy a SIG P365X macro, this is everything that it comes with, and I would imagine when you buy a regular SIG, it's going to come with all these things as well. So obviously you have your owner's manual and information on your warranty. You have a speed loader, you have your spare magazine, you have your two back straps, you have your rubber band that goes around the grip of the gun. No idea why they throw this in there, but hey, it's cool. And then down here at the bottom, they give you a lock for your gun. Now, the only thing that I don't like about this whole kit is, for me, the case feels very cheap. It's very flimsy. It's like a Harbor Freight special, but worse. I think they could have done better on the case, especially since this gun costs over $800. So, in my opinion, it may come off as nitpicking, but when you spend that kind of money, I would expect a better case. And let's be real anyways, it is a carry gun. I'm really not going to be using the case, but it's just something that I noticed. The gun is empty. And just to show you guys, here's the trigger. It's not great. It's kind of like a thud. It's a heavy trigger, but I mean, there's definitely worse. That's the reset. Quite a long reset. It's a pretty heavy trigger, but it also needs to be broken in, so I get it. I would say overall, it's a fantastic gun. The grip here has really good stippling. It's big enough for my hand. It does have an integrated comp. It's got great iron sights. It is optic cut. It has a pick rail to accept the light. So overall, you know, it's a really good size. Plus it's got 17 round capacity. You really can't do better than this. And obviously the main reason why I got it was because of this integrated comp. You can call it an integrated comp if you want. It's really just a slide cut. The barrel only goes out to maybe as far as the iron sight. Does it reduce recoil? Probably a little bit, maybe 10-15%. It's better than nothing, right? But, you know, every little bit helps realistically. And just to show you guys, I do have two Hellcat Pros that are about the same size as this gun. This one here has the extended magazine, so 17 rounds. This one here has a flush mag, that one's a 15 round. This one here is more kitted out to what I personally like. I like having a flashlight and an optic. This one will probably end up being the same way. This one here is just, you know, a base version, iron sights only. It's a grab and go kind of gun. Nothing that I would definitely shoot out past 15 yards with if I had to, but carrying a gun is better than nothing. So if you compare the P365 to the Hellcat Pro, it's pretty much the same size. It's a hair longer here on the bottom, but not by much. It's got a little bit nicer of a beaver tail. It's about the same thickness. It may be just a hair thinner. It's not as boxy as this Hellcat Pro is. But this right here is where the P365 is going to shine, because this is the 17 round capacity magazine on the Springfield. This is the Sig P365. Both right here are 17 round capacity. And notice how this one is shorter. So this is pretty much the same size gun as the Flush Mag Hellcat Pro. But if you include the other 2 rounds like what this normally comes with, the Hellcat Pro is a little bit longer. And keep in mind, neither one of these Hellcat Pros are comped, and this Sig P365 is comped, so this one should be less felt recoil. So yeah, that is my new Sig P365X macro comp. I have been very excited to actually pick one of these up. A long time ago, I shot one, the wife liked it, I liked it, and I would have got one, but it was just out of my budget, so I wasn't able to get it then. There is so many good things about this gun, but one of the main things that sold me not only was it the comp, but it was also the modularity. This grip module is able to be switched out to anything that you want. There is a ton of manufacturers who make aftermarket parts for this grip module, and I'm looking at maybe picking one up if you guys would be interested in seeing that. So I'm currently looking at the Icarus Precision Ace module, and I think it looks absolutely insane. I really do think that it would help with the ergonomics of the gun. I've never bought anything from Icarus Precision before, so it would be a first for me, but I definitely think it would be a good product for this. And also, coincidentally, my wife's favorite color is green, so that works out. There's quite a few pros and cons about this gun, but I'm going to go over a couple of each. So one of the cons to me is that this gun is notorious for rusting. That is going to be an issue. The other thing that I see is because this is a short barreled handgun, meaning this barrel is actually shorter than how it looks. It only stops right about here. So I think this is a 3.1 inch barrel versus the Hellcat Pro is a 3.7 inch barrel. So people have found that at a little bit longer distances, this gun is not that accurate. So, I mean, in my opinion, that's fine. This is probably going to be mainly a close quarter gun, but that is something to consider. Now, one of the pros for me is that not only is this gun compensated, but it's also modular. So the grip module is able to be switched out to anything that you want. And in my opinion, that is super, super cool. But one of the downsides to having an all metal frame is that, considering that I live in a state where there's summer, winter, fall, spring, and all that, whatever temperature it is outside is the same temperature that that grip is going to be. And because it's metal, if it's winter, that grip is going to be super cold. If it's summer, that grip is going to be super hot. So that is something to consider. Polymer doesn't get that cold and it doesn't get that hot. It may be something where I end up switching it out depending on the season. So that could be considered a downside, but because of the weight of the actual grip module, it's going to help reduce the recoil as well. So pros and cons with that. Do whatever you want with that information, but I do think that that is something important to consider. I don't know if you're looking at buying a Sig P365X macro. These guns are very expensive. I believe I got this one right around $830 after taxes, which means I was right around $750 before taxes. That's quite a bit of money for a handgun, especially, you know, one of this size, but I think that it is a good quality product. It's just something to watch out for is the rusting problem. Maintain your gun. Don't let it get to that point. You'll be fine. If it does end up rusting, you can just Cerakote it and that should fix it entirely. But the magazines do rust as well, so that's also an issue. I don't know if Sig will warranty the finish if it starts rusting. I highly doubt they will, but maybe that's something I can talk to them about. I would be curious to see what they say on that. There's a couple upgrades I would like to do to this gun. I would like to put an enclosed optic on it. I'm looking at either Holosun or Sig. I think both are going to be fantastic brands. It just depends on which one's more affordable, which is probably going to be Holosun. The flashlight that I'm looking at putting on this is the Streamlight TLR7X HL. It is basically their Streamlight TLR7A with a wireless magnetic charger, and it is the high lumen output, which means that it is significantly brighter. It's actually brighter than the Streamlight TLR1 HL. I really hope you can see this, but the Streamlight TLR7X HL will be this size, and it's going to be brighter than the TLR1 HL on this side. So the TLR7X HL is a wireless magnetic charger, and it's a high lumen output, and it's going to be brighter than this flashlight right here, which I think is crazy. So I'm waiting on that to be released because I think that's going to be sick. Overall, I think this is a fantastic firearm. I have not shot it yet. I'm definitely excited to, but I will be recording a separate video on that. I'm hoping to get really good reliability out of this gun. If I don't, Sig will be hearing from me. At this price point, this gun should be running flawless. If you own a Sig P365X macro or the macro comp, let me know how you like it down below in the comments. Let me know if you've considered buying one or if you would buy one these days. I am curious to hear your thoughts. It seems like this gun is pretty much the gold standard of concealed carry these days, so that's why I picked one up. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. I am working on making some shooting content happen. It is just very difficult in the area that I'm in. There really isn't a whole lot of options besides indoor ranges, so I'm working on it. I'm going to have to travel a little bit of ways out, but I will do it. So just work with me on that. Be patient. I apologize, but there is content coming out, so thank you very much for supporting the channel. And yeah, it's Carnage Defense. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.